Hey guys, it's Bina, and in today's video, I want to talk about the Weaver Tree Guide. So I think this is going to be a long overdue video, which I postponed for a long time, since the Weaver Tree is essentially very malleable, and then you can have like there's a lot of agency that you have in which nodes that you want to go for in here. But I have included a couple of nice setups with like a season starter, an endgame baseline, and like a few of the mechanics that you want to maybe spec into, and I'll talk about my favorite things. I will talk in this video about all nodes in the Weaver tree, why you would or wouldn't want to take them, and go over a little bit of an explanation about the imprint system and all of these other things that are included in the Weaver tree. So if you click on the link in the description of the video, that will bring you to the max roll Ellie planner. There's a Weaver tree here embed that you click on this button here, and it opens up a full screen, and so you can just follow along. So the first one that I have here is going to be the season starter. So you can swap between all of the variants by clicking the drop down menu here, you know, end game, champions and lizards and whatnot. But season starter, so this is the typical season starter tree that I would recommend. First is going to be going straight away for Woven Fortune. What this does, this will allow you to accumulate Woven Echoes to gain more points to spend into your Weaver tree without having to go into tombs or cemetery, because now champions will now have a chance to drop a pile of Woven Echoes when you defeat them. Also to note that you will be traveling in double reward chance from your echoes. So when you complete an echo objective, you have a chance to get double rewards. Increased chance to spawn with a new reward, which grants you Woven Echoes. So this, alongside this one, is also very good. And then Elder Sap, which gives you Memory Amber, also a good reward early on. Incubated Silk, also a little bit more Memory Amber, but this one doesn't matter too much. It's just a travel point to go to the Woven Fortunes, which is your first point that you want to max out. So after doing this one, there's also a little slider at the bottom here to see the order that I grab these points. Afterwards, I will go and spec down here into Piles of Runes chance, and I am pathing towards the gold chance, and the runes. So this will make it gives you gold to be able to buy stash tabs or buy stuff on MG as well. So chance for Xeric to join you to increase your gold drop significantly, and then you get piles of gold when you complete echo objectives. The runes are here for Runes of Havoc and Redemption. The main reason for this is that you will want to have, so early on your first character, right, you will not be very powerful, and you will most likely want to have an exalted tier 7 of, you know, +4 level to your specific skill that you're playing, or build defining tier 7s that you will probably want to slam into 1 LP uniques, since they are guaranteed at the Temporal Sanctum. So having a lot of Runes of Havoc will let you craft a tier 1, say I'm playing Lightning Blast, I want tier 7 Lightning Blast. You can craft a tier 1 Lightning Blast on your helmet, and that helmet, which already has a tier 7 Fire Res, for example, right? So, because you are going for this, let's just say, for example, let's say we have level of Earthquake that we craft at tier 1, but we already have a tier 7 armor and reduced bonus damage from crits. With the Rune of Havoc, you will transfer this tier 7 onto the Earthquake. Keep in mind that you need to have a 4 affix item for this. It will shuffle the tiers of the items, the tiers of the affixes on your item, and that's going to enable you to get a tier 7 Earthquake and put the tier 1 somewhere else. So that's going to be build defining. You then grab this tier 7 Earthquake and you slam it into whatever 1 LP unique that you want. You can guarantee this at the Temporal Sanctum, and so that's very, very easy and an insane power spike very early in the game. So that is why we go for runes. So we go for runes here, and we also go down. If you are in softcore, I would not recommend this for hardcore, by the way. So I personally never grabbed this one, but if I was softcore, all rare enemies are permanently enraged, but they drop additional runes and glyphs. So enrage means attack speed, cast speed, and movement speed. So it does make them more dangerous, but it's also kind of efficient because, you know, enraged enemy move faster. they go faster towards you, so they die faster as well. The reason why I don't take this one in hardcore is because of Warden's Echo. Your echoes have a chance to spawn a rare enemy that is from a dungeon. And those enemies, if you spawn the ones that are from the Bastion dungeon, the Soulfire Bastion, they are very, very, very rippy because for many reasons. But I'll just say this: if you are in hardcore and you're grabbing Warden's Echo, do it at your own risk. It is extremely rippy, and these mobs don't mess around. The other node that we are pathing through is Gatekeeper's Bounty. So you will find more dungeon keys and dungeon charms. So that is like the base setup that I go for. And then I go into these nodes here. So you path towards the increased champions and exalted item drop chance. So this is going to help you get your first exalted as well. Rift Beast chance and also Rift Beast bones. That's going to help you get your first primordial items. And also Evolution's End is a very low level item that is guaranteed whenever you finish a lineage on your beasts. So getting that one will give you also +2 level to skills, all resistances, movement speed. There's so many builds that use this amulet now. It's kind of like become the replacement for Nihilus. It's kind of like the better Nihilus that you can equip early on. You basically only go for Nihilus if you want the mana regen now. So that's going to help you get your primordial items and also, work towards getting a lot of bones and stuff like that for like the end game farming as well. So that is the baseline tree that I recommend people to go for. After this, there's many different ways that you can go towards, and I will show all of the nodes that you can do. But let's talk about some different setups. So the next setup is going to be, I'm going to be talking about Exp and Favor, since Exp and Favor is something that you might want to do very, very early as well, because of increasing your COF rank will let you, get more lenses, get more bonuses from COFs to be more efficient in your prophecies and get more items. There's going to be a lot of power as well. Also, if you're trying to raise for something, if when you get like level 100 really fast, you get more passive points. You just get more bonuses, more power to your character. If you're playing a minion build, you will get more minion power as well, which will increase their survivability and their damage. So that is the tree that you want to go for. Keep in mind that this one is not in order. Only the one that I showed earlier was in order. This one is just showing off the nodes that you might want to grab. So first, we're going to be grabbing the double reward chance. So when you complete an echo reward, you'll have a chance to get double rewards, and we're canceling out all of the rewards that are not experience based. So now that most of your echoes will have experience rewards, they have a chance to be doubled. When you complete an echo, you also have a chance to drop extra tomes. You are adding in spiderling packs to your woven tree to get more mobs to give you more XP, and then you're also gaining the favor cash spawn chance to get more favor for COF or MG, right? So getting to those high level of high rank rewards in your specific faction is going to be very important. So that is the baseline for the XP and Favor strat. If you are farming for Exiled Mages, so Exiled Mages is something that you will want to farm if you're trying to go for a Mad Alchemist Ladle, for example. The Mad Alchemist Ladle is used on the Lightning Blast build. There are other items that only them can drop as well. So what you will want to do is path towards this way to go into the chance to get a Twin Mage chance. So when you are opening up a Rune Prison, the Exiled Mage that spawns has a chance to be doubled, and then they are also they are also tagging along our champions that will also give you more XP, and that's going to be, if you're grabbing this one, there's no reason not to grab this one, and then also Graveyard Prisons, which guarantees a Rune Prison inside of your tombs and cemeteries. So if you're really, really looking to target farm the Exiled Mages for their drops, then this is the way you go. So here I patted down here to show you guys what you can imprint to get more Exiled Mages, which is the Rune Prison Complex. So these are the woven echoes that you would want to imprint if you want to go for Exiled Mages. Keep note that the Rune Prison Complex is an extremely rare woven echo, and it only spawns from killing Exiled Mages. Doesn't matter. There was a rumor that it had to be possessed. That is not true. They drop from just any Exiled Mage, and it's totally fine. Next, we're going to talk about if you want to farm Weaver's Will uniques. So Weaver's Will have a few nodes here down here, which has a rare enemies in your echoes have a chance to drop a Weaver's Will item. And then you have a chance to have a Weaver's Will lucky. So the lucky chance means that it will roll twice the value and keep the higher value of Weaver's Will on the item. And then all of these, of course, if you want to, you can also imprint them. Most like imprints are mostly better used for double tier 7s, but for Weaver's Will it's kind of different because of this Weaver's Will chance, and it's completely random, and you will have to probably find way more Weaver's Will to get the proper rolls that you want. So if you're really looking towards getting a good Weaver's Will, feel free to imprint them and use the regular imprint farming methods to obtain them, right? So here is where you can get this. Now let's talk about the endgame baseline Weaver's Tree. So what I decided to go for in the endgame baseline is all of the imprints and you know, the stuff that you would want to always basically get. So this one, okay, let's start first with Warlord's Riches because I think it's misunderstood. First, you're grabbing all of the imprints, right? Warlord's Riches does not drop a similar item. Warlord's Riches is pretty niche, where you will want to grab this one. It's most likely going to be the last thing that you farm on your build. But if you really, really want to get like triple prefixes or triple suffixes, this imprint can be good. So what you do is you imprint an item, and champions that you kill will have a chance to drop that item, an item that has an affix sealed up to the tier that the item had. So if you would have like a tier 7 pair of glove, tier 7 strength glove, it has a chance to drop a tier 7 strength sealed glove. It can be any type of glove. It has a chance to roll up to tier 7. And then the rest of the item is random. So all of these other imprints drop similar items, which means that if you put an item that has double tier 7, it will try to drop you another double tier 7, try to drop you of the same base, of the same forging potential, right? If you press Alt, you can see this. This one is completely different. It's not a similar item. It will only drop the number of affixes on the item, including the sealed affixes. So if you have if you have like 4 regular affixes plus 1 seal, that's 5 affixes. It will drop you 5 item when it procs, and each of those have a chance to seal an affix up to the tier that is on the item. Very niche. Only use if you want to try to get really 3 prefixes or 3 suffixes, absolutely, and you want to get higher than tier 5 or 6 or 7. That is where you want to grab this one. But other than this is the only reason why I have included this one in here. But you do path towards, you know, some decent nodes with Woven Echoes and Memory Amber Reward. So, you know, feel free to mess around with this side if you want to remove it or not, to fill in the gap with like other stuff that I just talked about, like Weaver's Will or Experience or stuff like that. Next, we go down here. We grab the increased Rift Beast chance and the Rift Beast. So this is going to give you more bones. If you haven't seen already with my farming strategy, there was, for Season 3, the best farming strategy is killing crystallized Rift Beasts with a specific Woven Echo, which is the, what's the name again? What is the name of that one again? It is the Rampant Coast Woven Echo. So that is the typical thing. I think I will actually put it in here. I will actually put Rampant Coast in here because in this... Wait, do we not have Rampant Coast? I think... well, we don't currently have Rampant Coast in the embeds. That is something I will have to report. But you would want to imprint Rampant Coast in both of these slots. That is going to be the preferred method of farming in Season 3. So we're grabbing the beasts to get more materials. These materials are going to be used for either buying your primordial uniques or buying bags of ember, which is, again, explained in my farming strategy. But those bags of ember are going to be used to buy whichever Woven Echo you want to buy for your farming strategy, which is going to be you know, buying a lot of troves to proc this imprint, or buying a lot of Nemesis towers to try to get your double tier 7. But yeah, so this is what you do with the Rift Beast. This is why we're grabbing these. Next, we're going to go into the Exalted Find. This is a travel node. You get exalted items when you open lost caches. Experience Tome drop chance. Again, the Spiderling packs for the beacons to never appear. Beacons are fairly long echoes, so this is the reason why you don't want to go here. And then Commoner's Riches. So let's talk about all the imprints as well. Commoner's Riches, Sealed Riches, and Echoing Riches are all going to drop you similar items. So these are going to be the nodes that you take to put in your double tier 7s and try to craft into even like the wanted tier 7s of the affixes that you want. So these are very, very important in the end game and are going to be always used in every single build. So there's no reason that you don't grab these. You try always to grab better and better and better items. And there is no, you know, in Last Epoch, there's no limit as to your character power. It's going to be limited by RNG, but you will want to have these at all times. Next up, I grabbed Fated Nemesis. Encounters are more common in your echoes. So this means that you will encounter more Nemesis and they will drop you more double tier 7 items, because this is the way that you get most of your double tier 7s, especially early on. But even later on, you can never have enough Nemesis. And so you will want to encounter them in your echoes and probably run some Conquered Towers, where in those echoes, in those woven echoes, there are 8 Nemesis. Next up, Favor Cache Spawn. This is specifically, I mean, I haven't played MG in 2 patches, so, you know, forgive me if I'm forgetting something for MG. But for COF, Favor is one of the main ways that you get your items. So Favor is going to be extremely important, and you will always want to grab this one to travel towards Sealed Riches. So max this one out. I always like to cancel arenas. Arenas is something that I haven't really messed around with too much. So I can't really pronounce any I don't have any real opinion on how good or bad arenas are. I tested them in season 1, which was it season 1 or season 2? But I've tested them a little bit. They seem to be pretty lackluster. Some people tend to say that arenas are faster to travel your web than just going in regular echoes. I do tend to disagree with this, because there are certain echoes that will be much faster than arenas, and certain others are going to be a little bit longer. But depending on your build and your movement speed, this will be, it should be fairly similar, to be honest. And the arenas don't spawn that much anyways. So yeah, I cancel all arenas. Then you want to go into Loot Lizards, into these two imprints. You will always want to get these imprints to spawn your Rift Beasts. And then the last imprint, again, all of these imprints are used for character power. Fury and Fortune, if you are softcore, again, you want to grab this one always to get more Runes of Havoc, more, I mean, of course, with the Rift Beast imprint, now we are getting more Runes of Havoc than ever before. So feel free to remove this one if you feel like you have enough. But if you don't, and you want to find more Runes of Havoc, this one is always nice to have. I feel like we can never have enough Runes of Havoc. You will have so many items to try to craft on, especially if you build more than one character. And so this is like the baseline tree that I would want to go for. This leaves you a lot of points open to spec into other mechanics. You know, all of the other ones that I talked about, the Experience, the Weavers. Maybe you want to go into like the Exiled Mages or whatever. So now let's talk about my preferred way of going about this Weaver tree, and it is Champions and Lizards. So as you can see, here I'm going to be maxing out the chance to get champions in my echoes. So I'm maxing out Exalted Challenger. I am maxing out Heroic Gauntlet. So champions are much more common in your echoes. I am also going to be maxing out the Dual Destruction for champions to appear in pair. So I'll try to get as many champions in my echoes as possible. And also I'm going to be going for Loot Lizards, right? So Loot Lizards and Exalteds. Kind of forgot to put this in the title, but like Loot Lizards have a chance to drop a pile of exalted items. So this is going to give you more exalts, more double tier 7s that you can find. Exalted loot caches gives you additional exalted items. I'm speccing into all of the nodes from the Loot Lizard from cache chance. So I'm going to, every time I open a cache, I have a chance to open a Loot Lizard. And since one of the best methods of farming right now is spamming imprints, it's going to be, you're going to be opening up a lot of lost caches. Increased loot lizard spawn rate, loot lizard shrines are more common. Champions have a chance to be accompanied by a blue or green loot lizards. So we are speccing to so many champions, we're going to get a lot of these lizards. And these will give you access to these keys here, which are temporal keystones, which I feel it can never have enough. These temporal keystones are the ones that you use to gain more stability in your timeline. So if you want to go farm the boss, a certain specific boss drop, you will want those. If you are leveling up new characters and want to farm blessings, you will want those as well. I feel like you can never have enough. And one extra point here, which you could decide to ignore, but I decided to use it anyways, is a guaranteed unique item when you kill the loot lizards. I do believe that lizard tails do not drop currently in the game. I have never seen one or heard of anyone grabbing one. This is something that's going to be introduced later on. I suspect it's going to be something like a cow level or something. It's going to be a lizard level, but whatever. The guaranteed unique item, since you're killing so many lizards, it's very RNG what unique you will be getting, but you know, it's an additional source of unique items and trying to get high LP uniques. So that kind of covers the extra points that I put for this strategy. It's going to be champions, loot lizards, exalteds, and yeah, that's pretty much that. So let's go over the nodes that I haven't covered, actually. So maybe we can go over the nodes that we didn't talk about. There are some nodes like Grand Catacombs, Tombs of the Erased are more common on your Echo Web. So this will be, there are different strategies than this one, but specifically in Season 3, these, the Rift Beasts and the Echo that spawns a Rift Beast with a Crystallized Heart seems to be bugged, and it's spawning way more often on your Echo Web than it's supposed to. So it's just like the absolute best method of farming right now that we know of. So I wouldn't recommend going into any tombs or cemeteries to do anything like that. But if you are trying, for example, to farm some idol enchants, maybe you're just spamming tombs, and then you want to like boost up your tombs. Rare enemies have an additional chance to drop Woven Echoes. These can also be good to, you know, get more of those troves, get more of those conquered towers, and you can always trade them inside of one of the Woven Echoes, where you can trade 3 of your Woven Echoes for another one at random. Tombs and cemeteries have increased monster pack size. You know, that is another option. If you want to get more monsters in your tombs and cemeteries. Rare enemies in your tombs and cemeteries have a small chance to drop that timeline's boss specific reward. That one is kind of, I've never seen it actually proc when I've used it, and I've used it for a very long time last season. Never seen a single proc. I think this is just completely useless, especially with how good these keystone, the temporal keystones are, which lets you farm those very easily. You have a chance for Math to accompany you in tombs and cemeteries, defensive buffs, and cast spells at enemies. I don't actually know what are the buffs that he provides, but you know, like it's only a 25% chance, and only when you go into your tombs and cemeteries. I feel like this one is completely useless. I could be wrong. I haven't seen what are the actual buffs that he provides. We've already talked about all of these. There is the Abyssal Trap. A random shade of Orbis can sometimes ambush you in your echoes. These can be nice if you want to kill Shades of Orbis without resetting your timeline web and trying to get these drops. I don't really like this one in hardcore. I don't like any of the ambush ones in hardcore. But if you are playing softcore, feel free to use this one here to kill some Shades of Orbis. Champions in your echoes have a chance to drop uniques with at least 1 LP. So I don't know if this one removes the initial roll that decides if you're getting the 1 LP or not, and then the rest of the formula is the same, or does this only like give you just an increased chance on that specific roll? But I feel like this one is pretty low value. You could use it on the champion one. It's really up to you. There are still some pretty obscure nodes. We don't have a lot of data mine based on the Weaver tree yet. If you go check on Tunk Labs, there isn't much information there either. I believe that Tunk was waiting for the Weaver tree to be more set in stone before actually working at deciphering every single node here. If he ever does that. But then again, this could be an option for you. Keep in mind, right? The Weaver tree is absolutely there's not a lot of friction on the Weaver tree. You can mostly grab all of the nodes that you want, and even a character without the Weaver tree at all will perform very well in Last Epoch. Like, it's not something that is absolutely mandatory, but it's something that boosts a little bit what you get from drops and from the game. I'd say the most important ones are certainly the imprints nodes, but other than that, it's really just kind of like extra bonus loot that you get that doesn't make a massive difference, but like, you know, you can tailor towards a little bit more of what you want from the game. I wish that EHG would put in more friction and more ability, the ability to specialize more into certain mechanics, which would let you really decide, okay, do I want to go for this or that? And then if you go for one specific mechanic, you can like fully invest into it. A little bit about like what is done in Path of Exile. But we'll see what comes up with the Weaver tree in the future. So this one can make cemeteries more common on your Echo Web. This one can drop you boss woven echoes when you drop one woven echo that is a boss echo, it drops a second one. You can get tombs and cemeteries to guarantee a possessed nemesis. You can get also, this is one, Forsaken Weaponry is the one that you will grab this one if you want to grab these very, very weird items that can have, okay, which one can I show here? If you kill a nemesis, there are certain items that drop, and they are, when you kill a nemesis, it has a chance to be upgraded. Something like this one, the Crystal Core. Chance to upgrade when you slay a Harbinger. So those are very, very niche items, but especially now with how unique items have that chance to be guaranteed one LP, one affix when you slam them with LP, it's very rare that you're going to see a build. I haven't seen a single build actually that uses one of these items. So until those get, you know, stronger or that uniques get weaker, I don't think that you will have to spec into those ever, but you know, it might be for a very niche builds. We talked about all the rewards that you can be canceling out here. We've already talked about all of these nodes, this one as well. Your echoes have a higher chance to spawn with a new reward type, which grants dungeon keys and dungeon key charms. So this one is going to be pretty straightforward. If you want more keys, just grab this one. Boss objective echoes have a chance to contain 2 bosses instead of 1, and they will drop an additional unique when slain. I don't think you ever won this, but I mean, if you're really looking towards getting some random uniques and, you know, not target farming them with prophecies, you could, but I don't think this is a very good node here. One that I need to talk about a lot is going to be Purge Horizon. Killing Shades no longer grants corruption in your timelines. So this means that in Last Epoch, farming efficiently is basically staying at a level of corruption where you are comfortable farming, you're killing stuff very fast, and you are never dying. So when you find that specific corruption that you like staying at, use Purge Horizon to stay there so you can reset your timeline web and keep farming and farming and farming without having to reset your corruption. So yeah, that one is pretty good. Reflection of Orbis, that is just like a travel node, but the Confluence of Oblivion is if you're trying to push super high corruption for whatever reason, right? There's not a lot of efficient reason to farm in high corruption, but if you're just trying to challenge yourself and you want to get to 20,000 corruption, 50,000, whatever corruption you want to be, the Gauntlet of Shades are easier shades than the regular shades that you find on your web. So this is the way that you will use to push your corruption higher, because the shades are also much easier. Tombs of the Arrays have increased pack size. Arena Echoes have increased pack size. So these here, Arena's increased pack size, contain fewer waves. Arena more comments on your Echo Web. These are all Arena related nodes that you can spec into if you want to. Bosses and rares enemies in your Echoes have a chance to be possessed. So being possessed means 100% more HP, 25% more damage, and 10% more movement speed. So that is what Possess gives you. They give you slightly more drops. They have extra rolls for drop chances. You can check all of those on Tunk Labs if you want to. But for the most part, they also have a chance to drop some Memory Amber. For the most part, I think this one is not really necessary. But yeah, this is something that you can go into. Bonus timeline stability, that is pretty straightforward. Echoes have a chance to, we already talked about these ones, extra runes, glyphs, and gold. Next, we're going to talk about these ones here. For the beast mechanic, crystal growth and primordial ambush. This one is similar to the ambush from the shade. If you want to be ambushed by a certain beast, and they have a higher chance to drop primordial uniques, which cannot be purchased from Skarven. If you are looking for specifically those, maybe that is an option. I would not grab this in hardcore though. Keep in mind. And then crystal growth. Rift beasts have a higher chance to grab crystallized hearts, but they have more health, damage, and they are going to be just very, very dangerous. Crystallized hearts are not rare because, again, we are grabbing this node here, Rampant Coast, this Woven Echo, and we are just getting so many crystallized hearts. I have 238 at the moment. What is rare right now is getting enough primordial horns to be able, and bones, to be able to buy the memory amber bags from Skarven. So I would say that this one is pretty much bait, even in softcore. So I would never grab these two. And I think that covers all of the... Okay, there's one more here. Memories of Fortune. You have increased drop rate for memory amber in your echoes. I think this one in Season 3 is also bait because we're just buying our memory amber and we're not really interacting much with any of the systems that give you memory amber. Even when you're placing down your troves. So even when you are placing down your troves, if you're placing down your troves, you don't want to surround them with the Lost with Fully, because you want your troves to be in a single line, and they reveal more beasts, Woven Echoes, that you go and do, and those will reveal more beasts and more beasts and more beasts, and that is going to be better than doing the Lost with Fully strat, because if you place the Lost with Fully and you place them all around, that kind of like blocks the other echoes that can spawn around. One thing that I will mention on this one as well is that when you are farming like this, Shade of Orbis have no chance of spawning if you are within 10 echoes from the center. So if you place your troves or whatever, your towers, place them only 10 on, maybe 3 lines like this, so that they don't interact with one another, they don't block any spawns, and then reset your web with the shade, and yeah, you'll do fine with this. So I think that covers a lot of the Weaver tree. I think we've went over every single node, and I've explained pretty much everything here. So hopefully I didn't forget anything. I hope you learned something in this video, guys. This video was long overdue. I will try to make timestamps for this one as well, since that is a much requested thing, especially for a video that explains, so many different, mechanics and different strategies. So hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.